What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It is Tuesday, August 24th, and this is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a bit spicy.
How are you, man?
Man, I'm good. I'm a little bit tired, but I had a headache after work today, so I came home, kind of chilled, laid in bed. Got some TBZ because that's good for you when you don't feel good. But no, I'm good. What about you?
I'm good, man. Today was just a day. You know, it's work, right? We've got like COVID's real, man. It's fucking just destroying its route. Like I think we had six confirmed cases yesterday. I don't know how many today. Like it's just wrecking wrecking us. But Top Clack, thank you for the tier 1 sub. You're cute. Also, wouldn't you calling me cute imply that you're calling yourself cute?
Yeah, right? Isn't that like maybe that's the reason why Brian and I are such good friends, because he's just
he just reminds me. He's just the me that plays Overwatch.
True. Yeah, he filled the void of you not playing Overwatch anymore.
Oh man, it's just I had a funny moment today. So I have like cafeteria duty in the morning for like breakfasts this week, and this little girl is she just like it's like her first day. Like this is like her first day, and she's sitting there, and she keeps staring at me, and I'm like, you know, hi, like hello, and she just waves and just like I'm like bug-eyed, like just staring. I'm like, this is
awkward,
uncomfortable. Lux Cables, thank you. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Y'all looks cute, dude. You look cute. I like watching you have some awesome Instagram stories. Like I always love your Instagram stories. So we're sitting there and they're like, okay, someone like this teacher's gonna walk that kid to class so they know where they're going. And she stops and she's pointing at me. I'm like, I'm about to get like this is like Exorcist shit. And she just runs up to me and hugs me. And this is baffling because most kids like are terrified of me because they're like, whoa, time out. You look like a mom from behind, and then you turn around and you got a beard. Like, I mean, I wear a mask, but like the beard pokes out. And she comes up and hugs me, and I'm just like, pat on the head, like, hello.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I mean, listen, all right, I work in a school full of elementary school kids, and I'm an adult male. If I get hugged, I raise my hands up to the sky. Better, look at my hands. So anyway, it'd be Habib. Thank you for the Prime sub. You guys can Prime sub, by the way. Get a free. Make sure Bezos is not walking away with another $5. All right.
True. Yeah, it's like free money that just like you get stuff. You get emotes. You get my face, kind of, without a nose doing.
Eric. Eric is my favorite emote. It'd be Habib. Yeah, I do. Because you're an adult man and I'm an adult man, and I feel that's appropriate that I have to let you know how much I love you by breaking artwork over your face. So, but no, other than that, it's been Keeb Noob. Keeb Noob was in town all weekend. That was really fucking awesome. She stayed and got to hang out some. We are all vaccinated. Obviously, we understood taking that risk, but we are all vaccinated, and we got to hang out. It was really cool. And she was on our stream. That stream will be posted in about a week. Apologies, we were a little behind on YouTube.
That was my fault.
So those are going up daily. So my apologies on that. Treat the puppers. We'll treat the puppers in just a moment, Lux Cables. But that was really fun. So and it was cool. The stream was cool. The getting to try out the forged carbon plate on the Baka was cool. Or Squid Sick.
Archetype caps. Thank you for 10 gifted, dude. Appreciate
my guy.
It.
I'll be so Archetype was in a tag, or we have an Instagram post right now that I posted today. that I was like, all right, God, who made this cap? Okay. It was my crown with like 9 different artisans from 8 different makers. Archetype, thank you very much, and for all the new subs, thank you, and welcome to Mechs on Deck. But yeah, that board's cool, and we're almost at 3K on Instagram, and we have a giveaway at 3K.
Yeah, don't like create fake Instagram accounts and go follow
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
Don't
we don't
be
need
that guy.
that. But maybe share some posts, and I think we're like 29 away from 3K, which is cool. Like, Eric was in a very popular band around Dallas and the southeastern region of the world about God, it's weird saying like about a decade ago.
Dude, I was looking at my Instagram the other day and I was like, holy shit, this was in 2013, 2014. And that was like
Yeah.
the end of my time playing music, which was 7 years ago, 8 years ago. We're getting old, man. We are getting old.
It's up. I mean, I'm staring at 30's on its way. It's storming down.
Oof.
So, but it was cool because like it's like for me. So for those who don't know, I usually run our Instagram more than Eric does. And it's kind of a first because like Eric did a lot of the social media for the band that he was in. And so it's been kind of cool because it was always like a competition when we first started Mechs on Deck to like, all right, now we got to beat Eric's Instagram account. So, and then we beat Eric's Instagram account. And we're like, all right, cool. Now we got to keep going. And this is all like new to me. Like we have a couple other social medias that we just don't use that much.
We have a Twitter. I don't think we have
a Twitter.
Posted.
I did go and get the TikTok name Mechs on Deck. I have not experienced, but I just didn't want someone else taking it. We got a tip.
You're being tracked.
Right. We got a tip from a good friend that was like, hey, you should try that. I just haven't looked into it enough. But we, we're looking at increasing our camera game here soon. So that's new and exciting.
It is very, very new and exciting. Yeah. Up in our social media game, maybe trying a little bit harder on things. I don't know. We'll see.
We're changing it up. We're tweaking. We're changing it. We're trying to, like, as you guys know, we're taking a step away from the Wednesday streams to reevaluate, reassess, and just kind of reassess everything. I think there's some stuff we could be doing better, and we think that there's things that could be improved, things that we're doing well that can be improved better, and things that we're not doing as well that could be. Social media is obviously one that it can be a struggle because honestly, like social media with me, a lot of it's like mental capacity, right? If work's killing, like this is not our full-time job, so if work's killing me, and then a lot of the times I'm like, I need a break from things, so it can be tough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I always think about how I want to do like these cool videos and like these cool video ideas, and then never do them. So maybe you look for some other stuff. Maybe do some other cool things.
Also, when I had A6000 forever. When I got the A6400, huge influx of like, I want to do more. Sometimes new things can create and inspire. So. Yeah. The upgrade. I think the upgrade on the cameras would be will be a nice little kick in the ass.
Yeah, dude. Just like, I think it's not just like try harder. That was like kind of a joke, but more of like finding other ways to utilize our platform and our abilities and our creative nature. We're both creatives, right? I was in a band. Dave was in a band. This is like our creative outlet now, and it's just utilizing that to our fullest extent. Maybe find something else that you enjoy doing. So things make it a little different, make it a little bit weird for a bit while we figure it out, but it'll be a good time.
We're trying things out. It's fun. October is going to be an interesting month because I think we're going to try some things, get some feedback. So it'll be fun, but what that's anyway, I'm going to ignore that, but what is on your desk, and did you get any mail today? Also, I think we missed some bits. Keeb Noob cheered some nice bits, so thank you.
Thanks for the 69 bits. So at no point in time this past week have I thought maybe I should change keyboards. So I haven't. I'm still rocking my Bauer with the 63.5 gram symmetric spring Lavenders Moto Light. This was on the aforementioned Instagram last week. So nice little brass booty Bauer. Got a palm plate in here, so it's a little bit different than a lot of the other Bauers. It's just really nice. It sounds good. It's not an aggressive sounding board, and it feels good. Yeah, I really like it. I love it. And other than that, I don't have any mail, so sorry.
Yeah,
That's it
it
for me.
happens.
What about you?
So we got some cool mail that I actually need to get off of my wife's desk, but I hear her typing, so I will show that off in just one moment. I showed it off on stream on Saturday, but
I'm gonna go get a treat for Anubis.
Yeah, absolutely. So I showed it off on stream. GMK Midnight Rainbow came in. This set looks amazing. This is on a Squid 60, Baka 60, little squid back there. This set came out like perfectly. Like it's it's one of those sets that I was a little worried about contrast, but yeah, it looks so good. Like on the black on black, it looks great on this board. Everything just pops, like absolutely. I don't know how you're holding that board with one hand. I think with my right hand I stacked 3 one time and I was just like lifting it. But yeah, I guess when you have a one for a long time, you just I don't know if I could do that with the Baka 70. And what's on my desk? I do have the Baka 70 coming back to me, which I'm very excited about. On my desk, something a little bit lighter. This is the bumper. This board sounds really fun. I just hadn't had it on my desk. It was actually in the closet because these two are on display right now. But yeah, this is the bumper with GMK Peaches and Cream. It's got my favorite artisan ever, the Princept Tiny Prime Caps collab Lerv. No, I am not selling it or trading it. Just full disclosure. It's got blueberries in it. Built a long time ago. It's a fun board. It's funny. It's got the Fiel plate and PCB in it. So just it was like the Fiel I sold to they were like, I don't want the plate or PCB. I was like, all right, sweet. Well, time to throw it in the bumper. It'd be Habib. No, sorry. But yeah, it's been a fun type. It definitely the blueberries are starting to like really show their true color, and it feels like it almost feels like a vintagey feeling board, like typing on. So it's been interesting using it this past week, and I was on the Crown forever. So yeah, that's it for me. I got the wrecked 1800s on its way to me, and then the Baka 70s on its way to me. So that'll be some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And then our new gear, which that's always fun. It's not keyboard related, but it's always fun. Let me switch cameras.
All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to my big camera while you do that, and I'm gonna give Anubis his treat. I'm gonna make my camera a little bit. This is Anubis just like chilling. He's like, "You got one for me?" And come here, bud.
I like how he's hiding behind my camera. All the puppers. All right, let me switch to the old Logitech C310.
Heyo,
That
little
is
Howie
angled.
ears going.
Come on, over here. No. Oh, he got it right out of my hands.
He's like, "Up, nope, this is mine now."
A little Howie booty.
Little
Can't go
toasty-
wrong. Can't go
toasty
wrong
buns.
with him. He's like, no pets, more treats. So let's switch back. All right. So Jibber jabber.
Oh
Well,
man.
yeah, it's been the tea. All right. So shout out to Keebnoob. She's the one that brought this to my attention. So if those who don't know what DSA Encore is, well, I hope you didn't buy it because it's not happening.
Yeah.
I hope it's not happening. If it is, you may never get it.
I know I said 25 months on Saturday, but today
Yeah.
it's 26 months.
What is happening to my? Oh, well.
Hey, we're back.
Did you go out or did I go out?
I think you went. I was like, I'm in Discord.
That's weird. No, I didn't leave. Did I disconnect?
It just said that you left.
God damn it.
Neither of you did? All right, well. so there's probably just a video of us going.
Well, I'm hoping that this is not okay. So for anyone who doesn't, well, none of you know, I've been having Discord issues. I've been having computer issues for the past like week, not even a full week at this point. So it's basically since this weekend. So hopefully this doesn't continue and that I don't. Hopefully it's not because I thought it was fixed, but it may not be. So we'll see.
We'll find out.
Find out this time on Mechs on Deck. But yeah, what were you saying?
DSA Encore is a set that's based off I don't know the game.
League of Legends.
It is League of Legends.
Well,
I believe it's a character.
It's the K-pop group in the world of League of Legends.
Okay. Now I learned something today. So there's a K-pop group inside of the game of League of Legends, and a keycap set was designed based off of this. Now, let's rewind a little bit of time. GMK recently, and by recently like 6 months ago, I think, basically came out and said no more IP infringement. Was it White Wolf or Winter Wolf?
Yeah, GMK White Wolf.
White Wolf. That was kind of an issue, and GMK basically said no more IP, which I'm sure just stressed Rinsuya the fuck out. But no IP, we're not, unless you have explicit, like, hey, well, you're allowed to do this, like GMK Moomin, where they're like, hey, you have the copy, like you're allowed to do this. GMK said no more. Well, this isn't GMK, this is Infinity. Ran through Infinity, and this, the runner, Astro Bunny, did not get permission. And there's a reason we call this episode Jibber Jabber, because they have a link. There's a website based on, it's basically just like League of Legends legal.
It's like Riot's like guidelines for usage of their IP, like what's okay, what's not okay. It's basically so you don't have to like reach out for things that you don't really necessarily
just
need to reach out for.
Check out the legal Jibber Jabber.
Yeah.
And it basically states that, hey, you can't make like commercial products. Like you can't profit. If you are going to profit, it'd be like, hey guys, come check out me streaming League of Legends. Like, yes, technically you're profiting because of streams, but like that's, under their legalese, they're like, hey, whatever. Like we can't prove that you're making money because of League of Legends.
Yeah. It's like a mutually beneficial situation, right? Or like League of Legends or Valorant is getting more popular, getting more eyeballs on it because a personality is playing their game, versus, hey, I made this based off of a game or a IP.
Yeah.
Buy it because it looks like it and it reminds you of it and it keeps you in that mode of this is that.
So I want to read a clip, just an excerpt from their website. I did post the website in there. You can see the legal jibber jabber in, I'll call it section 2, paragraph 2. You may not create commercial projects, including any project that crowdsources any portion of funding.
So entirety of a keycap group buy.
Any project that involves a business or legal entity,
vendors,
or any project where you gate the content with a paywall.
Purchasable
they're
product.
Purchasable product, but yeah, that's without a written license agreement from us. We only have 3 exceptions. Again, ad revenue, gameplay streaming, and API development. So yeah, basically, you can't. That's protecting people from going and being like, I made a shirt, come buy 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm going to profit, $10 on each of them. So I'm going to make a shit ton of money off of someone. And that's if you're using their logos, their branding, and like heavily inspired by stuff. Now, obviously there comes the inspired by situation, but I wish I could say that the drama stops there. But Astro Bunny, I mean no harm when I say the what's the word I'm looking for? There was lacking when it comes to dealing with any sort of heat about this.
Ignorance.
And ignorance.
Hubris.
It was hubris. There's a lot. There's a lot to unpack just in the interest check. If you want to read, Eric, at the bottom of the regular interest check that does mention the legal jibber jabber, because that paragraph's pretty damn important.
What are you talking about? On the IC?
It's after, on the IC. It's after at the DSA Encore logo at the very bottom.
Oh yeah, if you're going to
advise,
if you're going to advise, and I'm using the air quotes to actual quotations, advise on how big of a legal risk this is, please don't. Thank you for your concern. I appreciate everyone trying to help, but I've already considered all of it. I really have. And will be continuing with the project as far as possible. For implicit reasons I have covered for now, I strongly encourage you not to focus on the legal risk I'm taking and instead focus on comments that have to do with the key set, kitting, color, etc. Wear a mask, wash your hands, thank you. Yeah, cool. That part. Yeah, let's do that.
Great.
So here's my thing. We've talked about it before. Interest checks, for the most part, aren't interest checks anymore. They're more of like a hype check, right? It's like you're really posting, it's done. You're really posting that for, are people down, right? Are people going to hit yes? There's really not as much wrong with things. This is a situation where there's a lot wrong, right? You are knowingly put something up that is going to be talked about in probably a negative light. And
Mexo Earrig.
Space Cables, thank you for the 14 months. I believe this was after White Wolf. I think White Wolf was
White Wolf
last
was last year. Yeah, 2020.
So we're talking about something.
And this is after Blackpink.
This is after Blackpink and after White Wolf.
And mind you, Infinity already dealt with Blackpink.
Yeah. So Infinity already dealt with Blackpink, and Infinity is was going to be the manufacturer for these keycaps. I say was because this isn't going to happen. And man, it's just, you can't go into an interest check and be like, don't talk about this. Especially if you say that, like, it's just people's nature to then immediately talk about that, which is basically what happens. You've got like 3 comments and then just someone just copying and pasting the entirety of legal jibber jabber, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. That's like, to me, if you're going to put an interest check and you want to, like, this is from personal experience, if you want to lead people to something that's like, hey, like, I'm looking at this as like, oh, when I did the Baka 70 interest check, I basically pointed to, look at the price, stop reading after the price. If you want to keep reading, great. But I know I'm going to get heat for it. So here it is. And guess what? The only thing outside of non-brass plates that I've gotten is, well, it's too expensive. Okay, yes, I'm aware. This person is posting things saying like, I know that I may be breaking the law.
Yeah.
Or maybe not breaking the bullet. I know I am going against their legal terms potentially, even though she never states I'm going to be going against this.
No, she says that it's created within the terms of
this
legal
jibber jabber.
jabber.
I can't take this word seriously. But if you read, like, it's blatantly unless it was a no profit and you have to prove that, and no vendor and no manufacturer is going to make you prove like, oh, hey, I didn't make $1 on this. Like, no one's going to be like, here are all the lists of how much everything was, and here's how much this person made. No, that's not feasible.
But it's not even profit. It's just the purchasability of a product is what makes it not, like, the fact that you have to buy it in order for it to happen, right? A group buy is a crowdfunded project. Like, a group buy is that. There's no two ways around it. That is where it should have ended. A group buy, things that go into group buy don't exist without crowdfunding, right? Mass drop, back when it was mass drop, that was their entire business. They used to have a ticker of the price decreasing based on how many people buying it.
Crowdsourced. So there's another comment that she posted where, again, we're just not saying the right things. Excuse me. Thanks for the tip about the signature much appreciated. Anyway. And yeah, I wouldn't be shocked either. Tons of people seem to think I didn't do my research, weigh the pros and cons, and reach out to the right people for this. It's hilarious. But I wasn't going to not at least try with this. And I didn't half-ass this effort either. I know there are people who would love to see Encore get shut down, but that's not going to stop me from doing my best, smiley face. Nothing great without risk was ever made. So when I read that, I'm like, so you're going against the grain on this. You're doing, like, this is to me like the acceptance that I know I'm doing something wrong that I shouldn't be, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it almost feels like, to me, now this is speculation, so 100. This is DSA Encore, Mickey G. Yes, this is speculation. I'm fully aware, but to me, what this sounds like is, well, now I want to prove everyone wrong by running this. Like, nothing would make me happier than for this to run, so I can be like, yeah, like, look at me, like, I did this. Like, screw you, I did this. That's the vibe that I personally get. That is speculation, by the way. I am not trying to say that's exactly what she did, but that's the vibe that I get from this, where I'm like, I don't want any part of this. And while it sucks that I am sure there are people like, dude, fuck you. You shouldn't be fucking running this set. How fucking dare you? I'll report you myself. Like, that's too much, obviously. But there had to have been people that were like, hey, this is like, you've crossed a lot of lines that, like, you need to be weary of getting in trouble.
So my thing is, when you go to the KDA website where this is directly from, basically, it's not just that, things look like the symbols that are for the different characters in the group, right? It's not just some of them, it's all of them, and it looks like it's just cut and paste. It looks like just cut and paste from one to the other. And so, like, I think when I saw that comment, which, if you haven't read the group or the interest check thread for this, it is go get yourself a nice cup of tea, sit down, and you're in for a fun and hilarious ride. But the fact that I don't like the tone of people think I didn't do my research, weigh the pros and cons, and reach out to the right people. Well, it's like, you obviously didn't reach out to the right people, because the right people would have said, this isn't a good idea. This is not the right way to do this. And to say that you didn't half-ass this effort, you kind of did. Because if you would have whole-assed the effort of this, it would be something that was very obviously inspired by KDA, but different enough that that Riot will look at that and say, you know what, we appreciate that. The way they look at a lot of artists who do things that are inspired by maybe making their own skins for the characters in KDA or characters in League of Legends or Valorant, right? People who do cosplays, things like that. Like they would look at that in a different light. But you literally just took what they already did and were like, yeah, mine now. I'm going to make money.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing too. You're profiting off of someone else's work. That's not to say she didn't put in work. Obviously, like putting this shit together, typing out the interest check, getting the vendor squared away, prices, all that takes a lot of work. Like I don't believe that it didn't. But in terms of like making sure everything's legally sound is very good. I'm not going to talk too much because there's a lot of speculation. They did get served a cease and desist, basically saying, hey, you've got to shut this shit down, refund orders. Like, this is not happening. Like, if this continues, then have fun in court. Like that level of shit. And that includes a lot of vendors. So I want to talk about vendors now. So this affects a lot of vendors. I've been saying for a long time, we've both been saying, when are we going to start seeing like protection from vendors and signatures and contracts with the designer? We saw this sort of recently with the Air Max 97 set that was like, oh, I promise I didn't copy it. And then it was like, oh no, I 100% copied it. Like,
yeah,
like
it got nipped in the bud before it was even like a thing.
Before it ever became a big problem. And that's just annoying for Canon Keys to have to deal with. So vendors, Dang Keys, Alpha Keys, Fancy Customs, My Keyboard, Protozoa, Z Frontier, ILUMKB, and Thok Click. That's just across the world. So lots of vendors. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different vendors that potentially could have an issue with. And Eric brought something up to me that I didn't even think about, because this puts the vendors in a bad situation, especially if you're looking at, Shopify stuff and whether or not, the website might take a little off the top. And then what do you do when you sold something that shouldn't have ever been sold? You kind of have to front some of that money.
Yeah, I think so. What he's talking about is me saying that this, because of the size of a lot of these vendors, they're not the big boys. They're not the big guns. Other than maybe MyKeyboard.eu and Z Frontier, those two will be fine. They can handle a blow of however much money the true cost is, and the refunds. They can handle that blow a lot better than someone like a Dang Keys or an Alpha Keys who maybe invested the entirety of the profit for those key sets into extras. Like, or maybe they took the profits from that. Like, this ran a couple months ago. Some of these people may still have profit left over or may have the money in an account, but a lot of them probably won't. Like, a lot of them probably utilize that on other projects or reinvested into the company or maybe paid employees. This, like, situations like this, if it ends up being that all of these companies have to eat the cost, because in reality, Infinity could basically say, no, I'm not going to refund you your money. Like,
it's not my fault.
We'll cancel we'll cancel your order and, we'll give you a partial refund, right? For, what we've done, right? Like, chances are good they're not the vendors aren't going to get all their money back. They have to give the customers all their money back. That's not in question at all. They're going to have to do that. They have to do full refunds.
They're just going to ruin their reputation if they don't.
Well, if they don't, then they get into legal issues with Riot.
Because then now this person technically paid some sort of money to some entity
And so if they're on the hook for repaying all of this money back to the clients, to the customer, which is really unfortunate. And I would hate to see, granted, this wasn't a huge keycap set. The first time I heard about this keycap set was a couple days ago when Dave sent me this. I started looking into it and stuff. But like, that sucks, right? I mean, as Type B says, it is up to the vendor on them for taking the risk on something like this, which surprises me that some of the. I'm not surprised Z Frontier's on it, like not at all. I don't think they give a fuck. MyKeyboard.eu does surprise me that they're on that. But it just sucks if a company felt like they could utilize this set to get bigger, to maybe be a more forward-facing vendor in the community, and now they are on the hook for this. Because yes, it is on them for taking it on, but it's also like they could have been lied to and persuaded in a way when conversations with Astro Bunny, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Astro Bunny, of that it was more secure and that things were more figured out than they actually were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of have to blame the vendors on some of this too. Like, it's no secret now that keycap sets need to be cleared for like IP infringement. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
GMK has that thing. This isn't GMK, obviously, but we've seen this. We've seen this in both Infinity and in GMK. I don't see.
Dude, what the fuck is Infinity thinking?
Why
would they agree to make this after what happened with Blackpink?
I assume just because Infinity doesn't think that they're responsible at all. And I'm honestly not even really blaming Infinity, because at the end of the day, the vendors have to go, they have to decide, I'm going to put this on my website and sell it. Like, I'm going to go and say, hey, like, sure, let's try it. They had to have known this is a risk. It sucks that this happened because, you know, there is a lot of finger pointing, and we'll get to finger pointing because trust me, that happens, and we'll get to that soon. But the issue that I'm seeing is that, you know, we're seeing less and less of these vendors kind of protecting themselves, and less of these vendors taking the proper steps to going, okay, how can I avoid fucking everything up, and now I'm in some legal battle with a company. Like, by the way, Riot has money. Like, Riot has fuck you money. Riot has drag you through, you know, courts and all that shit kind of money. So that's why they wrote the cease and desist, because they were like, you can't be so, you know, someone who made this mistake probably doesn't have the money to go up against us, because it's right there. It's right there. I think there needs to be a better vetting process with all vendors across the board. I think, you know, I don't see a lot of the, other than Z Frontier and MyKeyboard.eu, I don't see a lot of the bigger vendors doing this. Probably because some of these bigger vendors would have caught on and been like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. And that honestly should have been number one problem right there. Is like, why? I'm not saying that smaller vendors shouldn't be there, but I start kind of looking at some of, you know, whenever there's a lot of smaller vendors, like, where that makes me, that's a small red flag. It's a tiny one, just tiny. It's like a yard. It's like one of those yard flags where I'm like, like, wonder why this didn't. A lot of the times it's because, maybe it's a profile that's not very popular, or maybe it's just a keycap, like a color or a colorway that's just not super duper popular. But I think that in regards to, you know, if vendors lose money, I'm like, well, it's kind of your fault. Like,
yeah,
tough, but
it would
like, you
suck
made
for them to fold for it.
Yeah, I would hate if they folded, but hopefully that's a lesson learned. And I don't want a vendor to become a cautionary tale from this situation. But as a designer, if you are looking into getting into design, look at this. Like, inspiration is a big part of how people design. I completely get that. Eric and I were talking about calls and how, you know, that's obviously inspired by fucking Mickey Mouse, but you know, at the end of the day, you don't have, it's a mouse, right? It's just a stylized mouse. But you really start flirting with, well, what, you know, especially when it comes to novelties, what are you implying? What are you getting at? And what are you using this inspiration to sell your set so much so that, like, you know, Are you using it because it's like, oh, well, I know I'll sell more if I use these logos. I know I'll sell more. Yeah, some people are going to like it, but it's like, oh, now I'm hitting different fan bases because now I'm just selling something of League of Legends, that huge community. People, and guess what? You need a fucking
It's the
keyboard
biggest
to
game
play
in the
League of
world.
Legends.
Like,
yeah. So,
but one thing that like chat was talking about is bringing up Islander. I think one thing to note is that I think Islander hit
Islander was before all that.
It
stuff.
hit at the best time for things to happen. For a set like Islander to happen. It hit right as the pandemic did. It was within the first like month and a half, 2 months of the game being released, and it was big, but it got bigger afterward, right? Like Islander is also like they know what they did and they took it down. Keeb Noob just said it. They took pretty much everything down. They don't really acknowledge it as much as they would if it was, if it was a set that was super original, right? And then they could flaunt, right? That's a set that you would want to flaunt, and you would be running again this year. It would have run already. But
Absolutely.
Islander, and I think those days are gone. I think the days of running a set like Islander is completely gone. There's no way that you're going to be able to get by doing something like this. Community is too big. We have too many large personalities. There's too many different things going on. There's just too many people in order for something like that to happen.
And when you're looking at other companies that are doing it the right way, like Canon Keys, like Novel Keys, that are going and getting the rights to be able to sell stuff, then I start looking at vendors and going, why aren't you doing this?
Yeah.
Look at Novel Keys. They fucking got Disney.
I mean,
and
Drop has Disney
Marvel,
right now. They have Marvel.
Drop has Disney. They have Marvel. Novel Keys has Star Wars. I think
Breaking
Breaking Bad. They have a lot of shit because they're doing it the right way. And now people are going to go, oh, now I want an Iron Man. I want a Black Panther setup from Drop. I want a Tatooine setup to match my thing. I want to go get thousands of upvotes on battle stations because I made my entire desk setup Breaking Bad with fucking glasses of fake crystal meth. Like it's cool that you can do that, but if you do that the right way, you don't have to worry about that. As a vendor, you might not make as much money, yes, but you're doing it the right way, and you're not going to lose money when you realize you have to fucking shut some shit down. So there is I'm using these quotes now, apology.
Oh, there's not.
Sorry, it's a reflection
cop out.
Cop out. It's bad. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. If you look at the interest check, I'll post the interest check again. It's literally you can miss it. It's literally right at the top. It says the first thing you see says reflection, and then a little orange button. At least on my screen, it's orange. Little button says more. Click more. I'm gonna read just a few. There's a lot in here, obviously, but the first couple sentences of the second paragraph. In regards to why I strongly believe it's okay in the legal area. So again, we haven't admitted any fault. It's because after reading their legal jibber jabber, I immediately thought of several public instances where creators were blatantly breaking their code, but Riot Games didn't care. I immediately, going forward from that, I'm like, I don't care what you say. You just basically told me, well, other people were doing it, so I thought it was okay for me too. Also, did you even read the legal jibber jabber? Because I read it in 2 minutes and realized I could never run a group buy with this kind of stuff. Like you're pointing the finger. You're immediately going, well, he did it. That's something. I work with fucking children all day.
Yeah,
that's some shit that I see at work all day. Well, he did it, so I can do it, right? It's like no. And then of course, we give it to. Oh, if your friend jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? Like that. It's like it's ridiculous. Like that's blatantly finger pointing, and then she goes on to list, like, here are things that other people have done that Riot has turned a blind eye to, but I'm in trouble. And it's now we're like, well, now feel bad for me because I'm under attack by Riot. I'm like, I don't feel bad for you. You didn't fucking read the legal jibber. I can't fucking say that word.
Jibber jabber.
Legal jibber jabber. And it's just, it drives me insane. So at the very bottom, it does say, I admit I have nothing legally on paper to protect my set from C&D. Not, I admit I did something wrong. It's, I admit that I didn't do enough work to prevent myself from getting potentially sued.
Yeah.
This is classic. I'm sorry I got caught.
Yeah. I think, what was it? There was one line that I was really upset about. Oh, yes. The next one right after what you're talking about. I admit that I have nothing legally on paper to protect my set from a cease and desist like others mentioned below or above. It's just solid hearsay, but hearsay nonetheless. This is the sentence that I think frustrates the crap out of me because this is what makes this whole thing a cop-out. And this is basically like, it's the same as, here's my interest check. Don't comment about the things that are wrong with it because I know, and I'm going to do it anyway. This is the same thing. I wasn't unnecessarily arrogant or ignorant when I launched this, or I was unnecessarily arrogant and ignorant when I launched this, but I have matured since. Hindsight is 2020. That to me is the most like cop out, like, oh, you can't tell me I was wrong. I know I was wrong and I've matured. No, you haven't. You're just mad you got caught and you got called out, and now you're having to face for things that you should have done more work on. Like, goes back to what you said. You said, oh, I did tons of work. Yeah, you did tons of work. But you didn't do enough to make sure it was something that could actually happen. You know, you just copied what they did and said, okay, people will like this. People will buy it because it looks like KDA, which is super popular and everyone loves. So K-pop's big right now. Digital K-pop group. Cool. All right. Like, it's just frustrating to me when people are like, you've shown nothing of learning or showing maturity for your previous ignorance and arrogance that you talk about. Like,
yeah,
you're arrogant and ignorant in the apology.
Yeah. And to prove on this point, it is my fault for jumping into this head first without considering the possible consequences for others rather than just for myself, and I sincerely apologize. Obviously, this is going to affect other people. What the fuck? Like, if I do all of this, but then I include 8 businesses so that's at least, we're at 9 people before this thing ever sells a single set. We are at minimum 9 people this affects. 9. Because we included 8 different vendors. So Astro Bunny, that. All the people that fucking have to work on this shit. Okay, Infinicky, so 10. There, already. We're at 10. So I don't buy it. I don't like it. I'm not happy. If it were up to me, this person would never run another fucking set because you've proven that you can't do it. Like, yes, second chances, I get it, but like, there is no part of this where I'm like, if I see Astro Bunny running something through a vendor that we're sponsored by or a vendor that I really like, I'm going to start asking questions. I'm going to be like, why on earth is this a thing? Like, I don't like the idea of headhunting someone out of a hobby, but like this is a critical fuck up. This isn't just like, I'm sorry, my bad. This is like, I took something to group buy that I knowingly am going to potentially not be able to do. And I know that you were potentially in trouble because you basically fucking stated it 50 times.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think headhunting. We've been very mean to Astro Bunny for the last hour. And if Astro, if you ever see this, I hope you see this part. Chances are good you probably won't, because this is quite a bit into you getting roasted.
Especially with what I just fucking said.
But this is not necessarily anything personal, right? Like, I don't know you, you don't know me, you don't know Dave. You could be a great person, and I'm sure you are. and this is nothing, no bearing on you as a person, but like when you go into this hobby, this was your first post on, right? And the community looks at things like that. You have to understand not just what you're doing from a design and keycap standpoint and the way you present it. You did that great. I think you did a great job of presenting the keycap set.
Solid interest check.
You did a great job of getting vendors and making sure it was ready to go, and it ran in a fairly reasonable time frame. But you didn't do the work on the back end that actually takes time and effort of understanding the community and why people would be so upset for something like this. Did I just DC or Dave just DC? Dave just DC. That's not me.
That one was 100% me. My Discord was just like, I'm gonna start over.
That was not me. That was you.
Was 100% me.
Maybe Discord is having some skip ups.
Yeah, Discord's like, hey, we're having a hard time.
But that's my thing, is like, you didn't do the work to understand the community and why things like this shouldn't happen anymore. We've got a lot of things that still happen as far as anime related stuff. That is, while still messed up, very different because of the way that they view those types of laws. Anything that's done by an American company or backed, like, is, even if it's backed by a company that is in an area that it would be okay with it, if it's got American headquarters, like a Riot, right? It's backed by Tencent. Tencent may not really care over in China, but you have to understand why things like this can't happen. You have to understand the community before you start doing these sets. And I think that's not just to Astro, it's to everyone that's looking to do a set. Understand why things happen. Understand why things are the way they are. Because if you don't, you're not going to be as successful as you can. Or you could just get shut the fuck down, like DSA Encore.
Yep. So, end of the day, I hope this is a lesson for creators in terms of like designers. I hope this is a lesson. I really, really hope this is a lesson for Astro Bunny. I hope this is a lesson for all vendors, not just the ones who are involved, but especially for the ones who are involved with this. I really hope this is a lesson. I've been saying this for a long time. I really think there needs to be contracts between vendors. I know some are. I know there are some. But I think if you're going to be running a key set where you're putting your ass on the line based on this person's actions, you know, we've seen that already. Someone made an ass of themselves and boom, it got pulled. And I think that needs to be like stated, like, hey, if I'm going to fucking stick my neck out for you, you can't go and just do whatever the fuck you want and say whatever the fuck you want. We said this like last week. If you say something on the internet, if you post something now in private DMs, it's sketchy. But again, even in a private DM, assume that if it's written somewhere where someone else can see it, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
That's the best I can do for you is know that no matter what you do, no matter what you say, if you say it somewhere public, everyone has access to it, no matter what. And the only other thing I will say is, one, I still can't fucking think of the word that I'm like, it's another word for crowd control. Why can't I think of that fucking word? Anyway, but basically, I would just look at this, and if you want to learn from this, if you're someone, like, honestly read this and take a critical look at like how she's responding to this, because this is not really how you respond to certain things. Like there's better ways of going about damage control. Thank you, Reverberate. I don't know why I couldn't think about this, but damage control.
Dude, it's not even damage control. It's like the entirety. It's just like literally the entirety.
Yeah, just
my thought process.
Don't handle it that way. Sorry, that's all.
I was just gonna say my thought process with this, like Gnarly Charlie for you says, she straight up ignored the warnings, plugged her ear, stomped her, threw a fit. Was the little 4-year-old that's stomping their feet, knocking shit off the shelves at the grocery store because mom won't let them, ride on the fucking shopping cart. If you want to do that, that's fine. But do something that isn't for the community. We've talked about before, keyboard or key sets, a lot of them are for the community. When you release a key set, you have to take a look at it and say, how is this going to do best for the community? How is this going to sell the most? Then you have to make changes, and you have to be okay with making those changes. Maybe there's some things you don't necessarily want to do. If you want to go in and be as hard-headed as possible, and you want to be involved with the community, maybe do something that's more artistic. Maybe do something with a keyboard that you can fund yourself. Maybe make artisans. Because if you do something that's like more artistic, you can say, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do my own thing. And people will eventually like it. There will be people that like it, people that don't. You don't necessarily have to mold your item for everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think even if you take away the issues of the copyright law, the copyright portions of the KDA set, you are still left with someone who's super ignorant and super not willing to take criticism about their work, which is not healthy and is really not healthy for something that's literally like, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you think?
Get you people that are going to be constructively critical of you, because you need someone to be critical. You need someone to go like, I'll give you a shout out to Static. If Static Age is in the chat, I sent him the interest check. And because I know Static's not going to hold back. He's not going to pull punches. And I said, I need you to look at this critically and go find the things that are bad in this. He went through, typed out all these notes saying, hey, you need to be more clear here. You need to be more this. You need to be like, you're not telling me this. And I went through and adjusted it. I'm not taking it offensively. I need it's it takes a village, right? Like if you do something by yourself and then if you just put yourself in, like I saw a lot of like, why I asked these people this, you're not asking the right people. If this was what your conclusion was, then you weren't asking the right people, and it might be time to reconsider who you're asking for advice is.
If you ask like some random person that's like the like front desk like reception person at like Riot, who doesn't talk to anyone that's like actually a decision maker, right? Like decision makers are hard to get to. That's why they put walls in front of them, because they are the people who make the decisions. They're the people who have to decide on things like this. You just ask some random employee and they're like, yeah, I think that'd be cool. That doesn't mean you can do it. That doesn't mean it's okay. Right? Like I've got friends that work at big companies. It's not like I can be like, hey, yeah, I'm going to make a keycaps out of your company. And they'll be like, yeah, dude, that'd be sweet. It looks
that'd
great.
Be sweet.
You can't just be like, yeah, all right, I got the go ahead.
Like imagine going to like OU and like going up to a student and being like, hey man, you like keyboards? Yeah. Hey, I'm thinking about making this OU themed with all of their logos and everything keycap set. Would you buy it? And be like, yeah, it'd be fucking sick. I'm like, cool. Got it. Let's go.
Dude, I could literally I could call the vocalist of the band I used to work for and be like, hey, can I play your music on stream? And he'd be like, yeah, sure. I don't care. And then I would still get copyright claimed.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't make that decision.
So we have another topic. I think we're going to save that topic for next week because it's another spicy topic. We do have keyboard of the week to get to. I'm like, man, I want to leave on, let's try and leave on some positivity. Some positivity.
That was sorry, yeah. Tim,
Okay.
that was a Tim
Anyway.
the Tap Man joke. He made an Overwatch account one day called Positimothy because he decided he was not going to be toxic anymore. And it didn't go well.
Yeah. Take other people's mistakes and learn from them. The best part about joining the hobby or deciding to become a creator in some way, shape, or form, look at what people are doing. Look at when people are pointing and going, that's wrong. That looked like I was pointing at a keyboard. If someone was like, that's fucking wrong, go look and see what they did wrong. Eric and I, like when I first ran the Baka 60 a long time ago, we had a discussion. What did people do wrong? Don't do that. You will learn from other people's mistakes way more than if someone tells you, hey, this is how you run it. No, you're going to learn from what people don't like. and don't do that. That's the most positive I can end on is learn from people's mistakes. You if you want to do the thing, you might still be able to do the thing, but it might just take a different avenue. Maybe you need to go get a copyright. Maybe you need to completely revamp what you're doing.
Yeah. Or just do it super private and do it anyway. Oh man. If you make it yourself
on that, listen, on that Jibber Jabber, if you go and buy 250 sets of a
and give them away
and you don't make $1 on it because you're not profiting from them and you just buy it for yourself, you can do it.
Dude, it would have been sick if like someone actually reached out to Riot and Riot was like, yeah, let's do this. And then like got the support of Riot, because Riot would have like bought fucking shitloads.
Yeah, can we make DSA Jibber Jabber now?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot of inspiration for it would just be black on white.
I want GMK copyright where it's just everything is just every letter, it would be very expensive, but every single cap has a copyright under the like attached to the letter. And then like the C is just a copyright and the R is just restricted. I missed the R. The R is just restricted. Every single thing is copyrighted.
But if you're going to do that, you might as well go ahead and get like the old typewriter font instead of our traditional GMK font.
Do it in Comic Sans. Just piss everyone off.
Dude.
I want to give a quick shout to our awesome sponsors. We've got Omnitype. You can go to mechsondeck.omnitype.com and check that out. They are kind of in between some stuff right now. I think I haven't reached out to Garrett, but my assumption is that they're working really hard. They've got SA Dual Shot on the way to them or already there. I haven't checked in the Instagram thing, but they're also working on the Bauer 2s. So I think he's just like, let's catch up, which is smart.
You're doing keyboard of the week.
So, well, I was just doing the ad read.
Sorry, we normally do that during the voting.
That's fair, but I wanted a nice break. I wanted a clean, like, toxic to happy.
just
so,
get me off guard. You backhanded me, bud.
I did, man. Just so check out Omnitype. Project Keyboards. You can go to mechsondeck.project.link. GMK Slasher and GMK Retro Wave are running right now, so go check out those sets. We've got canonkeys.com/mechsondeck. They have quite the amount of stuff on there. SA Mizu Row 3 extras are up there right now. Nice PBT, elderberry, lots of keycap sets. That there are some in stock and some that are in group buy, and they're tagged by that as such. With GMK-A, GMK How High, and GMK Jags all running. You can also pick up some Anubis switches, which Eric and I highly recommend, obviously, because we fucking made them. And check out Kinetic Labs. Go to kineticlabs.store/mechs on deck. They've got lots of good switches there. They've also got keycaps. They've got the whale and the octopus PVD keycaps are over there. So be sure to check that out. And we've also got some awesome partners. Zap Cables. He makes amazing cables for your keyboards, and he also provides all the stuff you need to make amazing cables. So be sure to check that out. Tight Beast, go to tightbea.st. He has an amazing newsletter. It doesn't bog down your email. It's always an enjoyable read, just to kind of keep up with what's happening in the hobby. Smith & Rune, go to smithrune.com. Get the latest updates on what's the upcoming polycarbonate iron 165, as well as they've also got some great merch on there. And then 3dkeebs.com. Head on over to 3dkeebs.com. They've got a lot of cool stuff over there with some switches. I know they did a big reorder that is happening very, very soon. So check all that out.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we've got, we didn't do keyboard of the week last week, so we've got quite a few submissions to get to. So let's go ahead and get on into it. All right. So first up, this is from Lux Cables. I don't know what board this is, but it's a TKL. It's a Win Keyless TKL, and it's got, what's that, Artisan? I don't remember the name of that artisan.
He sent. Oh man, he sent me a message about him. Hold on.
Bad
Bad Chad.
That's
Yeah.
right. It is. Man. And Kiwisicles. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of stuff going on this. This is like a collection board almost. Just a full on
BBW. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, Frog TKL apparently. That would explain why I don't know what it looks like because I haven't held one. I kind of tuned into some build streams of them, but they have been all at the tail end. But yeah, man, these artisans, they all look good. They look good.
Yeah, it's clean, lots of color. No keycap set at the moment, but you know, hey, I'm sure lots of good keycap sets would fit any of the like more mild ones. And on a silver board, that's why I like you pick some plain colors, let the artisan shine.
Absolutely. Next up, I'm gonna assume that this is a Samus. We're seeing we see a little Moto light happening there. Again, I don't know what
it's OMG OMG caps.
These are
I'm bad
OMG.
with Menlos. All right, Reverberate says Menlos. Menlos. So Menlo caps, they have I like that. I like the little OMG, especially it's like it's made for Alice keyboards. So by Night caps. Yeah, these are super awesome. Love that.
It's cool. All right.
So
and
next up we have just an artisan. This is a sparkly silver surfer Kevin from Bludgeon Caps. I really like this sculpt. Just reminds me of like, you know, a massive goggles on a cat, which I think that's kind of what they're going for. Seeing as how it's like a mask. So very, very cool cap. Looks like it's reminiscent of like it kind of reminds me of man, I really can't think of things today. Mad Max, like looking out at Mad Max in the desert.
I could see that. Looks good. Also very like you nailed the focus on the eyes and the ears there, static. So good job with that. It makes it look a little bit more menacing than I feel like it would look if it was just like a picture of a keyboard with that on there.
The macro shots.
Yeah. So pretty cool looking. And then next up we've got Gnarly Charlie for Use E White Austin round 2 with Cafe. He's got quite a few artisans on here. Got Trump's Keys Cafe, Weed Blank, and Peace Blanks. Those are the F13 and the Escape. And then he's got the Sody Caps, Cafe Blank, and Jam Jams. And then he's got our Dread Keys, Dread and Wormhole, and that's the cinnamon bun. So
that's good picture, good composition. Great picture. Just awesome board. Austin's great. Round 3's coming out soon. Check that out. Drifting Bunnies, great friend of the channel. Cafe looks great, and I love that you got all the Cafe caps too. Like dedication is what this board took.
Dude, so, I still love the fucking cinnamon roll cap, dude. It looks so cool.
It's fantastic. So next up, we've got an HHKB. An HHKB with artisans. You don't see too many HHKBs with artisans on them.
Oh, you don't. You don't see that many. And it's like the stealth out one, which I think is the very clean. I think personally I prefer the classic look. But yeah, Topra artisans are hard to come by. Even though, as we've seen from a couple months of artisan only interview months, Topra is super popular in the maker community.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's an MX.
MX, okay. So did you do an MX slider?
Did a single slider?
But still with, you know, I don't know if the whole board's just MX. That slot uses a Nova Touch slider.
Yeah, one Nova Touch slider.
Hey, you know, if it's not an important key to you on the board, like good way to show off. Because you just don't see that regardless. You don't see HHKBs too much. Many people don't go through the effort to take apart the entire keyboard, to switch out one switch to turn around and do that. I don't know if you can do that without taking apart the hardboard. I am not a Topra user. But still excellent work. So Dicey No Don't. Am I saying that right?
I think so.
Dicey No Don't with a Hive 60 EPBT ivory, good sounding gasket board, and we've got a brass keycap, the ivory brass keycap. I think that came out excellent, and this just looks clean. And we're gonna get a chance to build a Hive 60 here soon, so I'm excited to try that out.
Is that the one that has like the actual like Hive engraving in the bottom?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very cool. 60%. Love the theme, and it really pops on this board, that artisan.
And then last but not least for today, I'm assuming this is a very large photo. I want to try again. Okay. Why is this not loading?
Here, let me I'll do a quick awkward snip to make it smaller. All right, posted one that's literally just snipped. So try that second picture that I just reposted.
Where'd you post it at?
It's just right under KOTW.
Maybe I think I might be losing. I lost Discord connection. Are you so hey, it's just me. Oh,
that one wasn't me.
Yeah, I lost Discord connection. Were you hearing me that entire time?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know why. So you've lost connection. I've lost connection. But like Discord's I didn't lose connection the first time. It just everything just stopped.
Yeah, that was what happened the first time, where it just like everything was like
paused.
Hold on, and then this is funny.
Is Discord just fucked, or is it? Maybe it's not my. Well,
that would have to be. No, I mean it's both of us. This wouldn't happen to both of us separately.
Yeah, true. I thought because it's not happening the way it was. The Discord issues I was having before were very much like I would DC and I would hear the disconnection, like the boo-doo-doom, when you like leave a call.
Yeah.
So now that it's not happening here, so I'm assuming Discord's just being a fucking little bitch. Speaking of little bitches, I'm just kidding. No, so I got it open now. I was able to open it. Rama Wave on the Think 6.5 V2 looks cool. I think they look really freaking cool. I love the aesthetic of the almost like the like heat treated keycap,
like iridescent goes great. Board caps match like very purple. I want to see the Chosen One. I want to see a full pic of this because I'm sure that board is like so purple, damn purple. So and then we have one more. We have one. Now let's save that last. Well, okay. Let's do this one last entry.
Okay.
One last entry. We've got a from Deeds. We've got a stacked. Looks like a stacked acrylic board. With was a Sky Dolch. It's been a minute since I've seen.
Yeah, I think
Sky Dolch.
Yeah, I think it is
from that's from like Originative, I believe.
Yeah. Good lord, that's
so.
Does that exist still?
I mean, it sold at some point.
No, I mean Originative.
Oh, I have no idea. Let me look. But yeah, very, very cool. And again, using that Mechs 65% row is still there. Yeah, I mean, Originative is still up and running. Oh, I know that they're up because they redid Skeletor.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You can like go get Skeletor, right? So, but yeah, excellent board.
Yeah, looks good. So, what is your pick, Mr. Dave?
I'm gonna pick the Austin Cafe. Like, it's the pictures. Not only is the picture great, but you match the artisans to Cafe. You got the wormhole in there that we talked about last week. It feels very on topic. But lots of, I just love that the dedication on top of just having the artisans, the dedication of like, I'm going to put this on there. It's fucking awesome.
I'm going to go with the Samus with the Malonis. Is that what they're called? Is that what? Yeah. Minlows, not Malonis.
Malonis.
Yeah, Minlows. Oh my god.
Okay. Why is that new poll? There we go.
And yeah.
Keyboard of the week. So we've got Austin Cafe and what's that? Say it one more time.
The Samus with nightcaps, Minlows.
I'm gonna put OMG Menlos so we know that.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Start poll. So it's gonna be at the top of chat. So if you're on phone, just tap the chat. It should pop up at the top. So tomorrow we're wrapping up Artisan August. So we've got Win Keys, we've got Addo Works, and we've got Destroyer Caps all coming on. I'm very excited to have those guys on. It's going to be a fun time. It's our only 3-person interview this month, and that will wrap up Artisan August and wrap up Wednesday night streams for about a month. So starting next week, we will not be doing Wednesday streams for the month of September. September 1st is that first Monday, except for on September 11th, we will be having Crash Draws on, and we're going to go through this poster in detail with him. I'm so excited for that. We're going to go through everything. You know, Keeb Noob came over and was looking, and I was still finding shit. Every time I look at that, I find something new or something cool about that. So I'm very, very excited to kind of go through. And from what I have been told, we're going to be doing some giveaways of some of the posters.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. I should be changing the pictures so people can see the other ones. I don't know why I wasn't doing that. I was just not paying attention at all. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So come hang out. What are you doing?
Saturday, I should be building the wrecked 1800. It should, as long as USPS does their job, it's supposed to get here Thursday. So I can't imagine I will not be doing that. And then the following week, we will be off, as both Eric and I have, my wife's birthday and Eric's birthday are 4 days apart. So that September 4th through 9th section of the month is a busy time. So we will be busy during those times. But yeah, so excited. And then again, like you know, as we talked about at the beginning, also the Chosen One, thank you for posting a full picture. That's a dope picture.
Oh yeah. So chat, what did we learn today?
Yes.
What did we learn today, chat? Don't steal things and pretend that they're your own. You can't make money off of things that other people have done the work on. If you would like to do it, if you would like to take someone else's idea, make sure you change it enough to where it can be considered your own.
I want what one drunk man said on a shirt. Read the Jibber Jabber.
Read the Jibber Jabber. Don't F with K-pop. Also
yeah,
true.
Honestly, yeah. Scott Water with the big brain. Don't F with K-pop.
So. How many times is Infinity going to try to run a set based off of a K-pop group and it gets blocked by said K-pop group?
I love it. I love it. So the Austin with Cafe, Gnarly Charlie for you. Congratulations. Has won this week. I have so many tabs open from fucking looking at different IC parts. Absolutely love it. So let's see. Who are we? Let's see. Who's this?
Let's look for someone to raid.
Tony Kien? Am I saying that right? If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. Formerly known as Ramen Champ. I build metal rectangles. Yeah. So we'll raid so TONYKJIN. All right, let's.
Dude, you better eat those Stroop waffles. I miss. Do you remember when they had the Stroop waffle McFlurry at McDonald's?
Yes,
it was amazing.
That was an amazing time, and they haven't done it. So, but yeah, we're going to go raid Mr. Ramen Champ, formerly known as Ramen Champ. And thank you for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Closing up for tonight. Y'all have a good rest of your day. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Come hang out. Last week of Artists in August. And bye-bye.